The thing is, how do you become a natural at something that you weren't naturally a natural at, right? Because I wasn't ever very good at selling until I studied a lot of sales material. But the number one thing that I did that made me good at selling was I memorized sales closes and I memorized phrases. And then that allowed me to be able to think more, because I could say the words without thinking about them anymore. And that allowed me to think about the words that I was saying. And then allowed me to play with the words that I was saying to understand why these words make sense where other words don't make sense. And so what I would recommend with these that we're doing here is all of these language patterns I've now had, the starting part to making this natural is just to take one of those and just see, okay, if I use the calculator, or not the calculator, the phone example, or if I use the whole, like you'll hear me say a lot, Olga, like in the psychology behind this is, if I transfer $20,000 to your bank account today, how would your life be different than it is now? What's the first thing that you would do? That's a close, I've used it 100 times. Because it's a future forwarding, it puts you in the future and the present, and it presupposes that I have the ability to do that, and it gets you thinking about what life is like now that you have the solution. I know all of those things psychologically are going to help me make a sale. But even if I don't know that, if I know I have that ability to say that when I'm selling my product, it'll become obvious, honestly, because you'll say, okay, this person needs to know that they're going to have to invest in themselves to get this outcome. I think this makes sense to do this, so let me just put this here and see what happens. And then intuitively over time, you'll start making those adjustments, because you'll find certain things work often, certain things don't work, and then the things that work often, you'll keep reusing them again. But as opposed to starting from scratch and figuring out those words, find the patterns and memorize them. And I'm just as good of any source to start with because I have so many different varieties of them. But yeah, I mean, the challenge with the selling of psychology is, can we draw on this? Is this active? Okay, cool. So I'm developing this theory the more and more that I've been in business. And this is the challenge. Because I would go to seminar after seminar. And I would say, you know, why did the audience really talk about this one thing? Or what was the most exciting thing that the audience referenced? Or if there was a voting process, or who had the most popular piece of content out of 16 speakers, who would win, right? And all the time, the answer, if we're talking about vision or strategy or tactics, the content that would have the most appeal in the audience would be what? The tactics, which are arguably the least important part of the whole thing. But why are tactics so interesting to learn? So I'll give you an example of a tactic. So let me think in specific terms. Like in selling, a tactic is, if you stay to the end of this webinar, I'll reward you with a free ebook. That's a tactic. It's a tactic designed to get somebody to stay on the webinar longer. That tactic is great. It could work, but if it happens on every single webinar that everybody attends, it's not going to work that much. It's not going to work anymore. The problem with a tactic, if I do webinars that give away an hour of free content and then a pitch at the end, but then all of a sudden podcasts come out, and now you can get content when you want on demand, that's why webinar attendances went down. One of the reasons why is because podcasting has become more popular. And so my tactic of using a webinar has become less effective. Email marketing tactics have become less effective over time. So tactics change constantly, but what's the cool thing about a tactic? I can give you one little tiny tip and you can see yourself implementing it by the next day or the day after that. Tactics are very seductive. Tactics are great for the day-to-day. But where as a business owner should you be living? Should you be living in the day-to-day in your business, or should you be above that, right? And so my theory is this. Like, you as the owner of the company should be the visionary. So you should create the vision. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to own? So vision to me is always ownership. What do you want to own so thoroughly that the thought of anybody competing with you is laughable? That's my definition of vision. What's the vision? So we have a vision that we are working towards right now in our company to be the #1 services company in the digital marketing space. Because I believe it's not information that people are lacking anymore, it's execution. So that's the vision, okay? Strategy then is, how are you going to get there? Not on a day-to-day level, but like, how are you going to grab the market, get your foot in the market, expand your reach in the market, and then own the market? So strategy would be, for example, what we're doing here today is part of that strategy. Let's create content and let's show how we can deliver and service content in a way that can scale. That's strategy, okay? Tactics are like, Matt, where are we putting retargeting pixels, and what's the idea behind that? How are we using retargeting? Give me one specific example of how you plan on retargeting immediately.
Well, we'll retarget after they have watched one of your webinars.
Yeah.
Or actually watched it. Based, whether they signed up or not, whether they watched it, whether they purchased something as a result of that webinar.
Yeah, and then I don't know where you're putting those pixels at. I just trust that you're going to figure out a way to be able to tactically implement what we're having here so that way we can buy this traffic all day long, which will allow me to really sell the back end, which is the continuity program, Fast Track, which we make $1 million plus a year in, and then the Launchpad, which somebody asked me about earlier today, which is a $10,000 a year software. That's the vision. That's how we own that whole Amazon vertical space. But I honestly have no idea. I don't even know what account. I don't even think Matt allows me to log into the account. Not anymore, because I accidentally set something up and I got us banned from one account or something. I don't even know what I did, right? That's why we don't do tactics. Now, you need tactics, okay? So my philosophy for most of you in this room is you come up with the vision, you assist the leadership team with the strategy, and then you insource with the employees and you outsource with the subcontractors the tactics. My role has been in the last year and a half is to completely remove myself from the tactics. What I'm doing today is kind of counter that, because I'm super tactical today, right? Now, I did a speech at this super high-end event, $20,000 per person. There's 50 people in the room, 50 businesses in the room, and they had no idea what I did to them. I walked out of that room and they had no idea that their life was never going to be the same again, because I just completely shifted their whole perspective. But not a single person could consciously point to anything that I did and understand what I did. So I didn't win any popularity contest. Nobody says, oh my God, that was the greatest speech I've ever heard in my life. Most people says, I've never seen anybody own a crowd like you did, Jason. Like you basically manhandled everybody and you forced them to listen to every word you said and they were scared to disobey you. So therefore they just followed along, right? I got that comment. But the idea was everybody in that room I felt was scared out of their mind with taking a certain action in their business because they were in an industry that was very, very on the precipice. And so all I did was every single time they started thinking about that bad thing, I put pain. And every time they started thinking about doing anything other than that thing, I put pleasure there. Now, I taught them a whole bunch of stuff, but all that was a distraction for installing these new feelings. So they walked away, and if you follow up with them 3 months later, I guarantee you I'm the #1 name they mention. But in the moment, it was all the tactics. Tactics are the 80% of the stuff that only gets 20% of the results. And so let's be careful of overemphasizing tactics here. So we just have to be very careful of that. So a lot of the sales psychology, the application of it is tactical. But the strategy of why is sales psychology important, it's because first I have to understand the psychology of my customer. And that is an important strategy. I would rather you spend time understanding your customer and then employing some of these psychological components by outsourcing them, the tactical parts of them, than to try to own all this. And I'm not going to underestimate the amount of time that I've put into understanding this at a natural level, because I wasn't natural. Thousands of hours. If you want to be, first you got to understand it, then you got to practice it. Thousands of hours. Is that worth it for you in your business? What are thousands of hours you could have put somewhere else, and is that a better use of your time? I don't know the answer to that, but you have to be considerate of it. So a lot of what I do up here looks cool, but at the end of the day, very little of it matters. If you had to be as good as me to be successful at selling, most people would not be successful in business. But you can do very well being average at selling because you have the right strategy and you have the right vision. So how can you provide a solution that's so compelling that it's unmatchable? That's your vision. The strategy are what components. So our strategy in the past was to use email marketing with affiliates to accomplish our vision. And we did that. We owned every market that we went into. And then all of a sudden one day I realized email sucks. It's a sinking ship. So now the strategy becomes, how do we replace email? The challenge with Facebook is one of the reasons that I was so conservative against Facebook is it was so tumultuous. It kept changing all the time. And it was outside of our core competency. So it took us forever to kind of shift the focus around to the strategy on that. We made a strategy shift from a product company to a service company. Now products are 20% of what we do, and 80% of what we do is services. Where in the past it was the other way around. 80% of what we did was products and 20% was services. Because I felt the market was changing so much that the number one problem people had was not access to information, but the ability to execute on that. And more people are coming online, but information is cheaper and more readily accessible than ever before, and so that's why we switched to services. So it's the high-level stuff. That's going to matter in your business, Olga, more than the psychological stuff will. The idea here is more is caught than taught. Have you ever heard that saying? Being in a fully immersive environment like this and hearing all the senses, having all the senses playing at the same time, you're going to go back. And if only 2% of this hits in your business or 5% hits in your business, which is probably all that it will, right? That's going to be a major level up for you. Don't you think so? If you just change a couple things about what you're doing right now in your business, with some of the stuff you've seen that I can do, I've expanded the possibility, that expands your ability of what you think is possible. Does that make any sense at all, or is this kind of like an afternoon hangover after having lunch, right? My goal is to snap the rubber band so far that it breaks, and then it can never go back to the same spot again. That's what I'm trying to do here today. So if you say, damn it, I want to be more psychologically ninjutsu'd like Jason is, and now you're frustrated with your current ability to sell, I'm happy to have given you that problem, right? Because you're going to do something about it. You're going to up-level some part of your selling game or your psychological game. Because a lot of people don't even know it's important. Olga, that's the problem. I can't sell this course because nobody would buy it. They don't want sales psychology. They do. They tell you they do. Then the moment you ask for the money is the moment they walk away because they want tactics. They don't want the strategy. They don't want the vision. So